Namaste, dear devotees. Welcome to today's discourse, dated March 27th. Shri Brahmachaitanya Maharaj imparts a profound lesson. Pleasure and pain arise from desire. We often question why the righteous suffer while the unrighteous prosper. This doubt arises because we measure happiness by worldly gains. Maharaj guides us to rise above such illusions and understand that true contentment comes from aligning our will with God's. Let us reflect on this wisdom and explore how we can free ourselves from the endless cycle of desire and suffering. In this world, we often find the unrighteous happy and prospering, while the righteous frequently meet with failure and sorrow. Why then should I too not adopt unrighteous conduct? This is a question that often besets a common God-fearing person. If we investigate this matter deeper, we find that the common man is not a true seeker of God at all. He is God-fearing because he has a lurking fear of punishment by God or of social disapproval if he deviated from accepted standards. He hopes to keep God pleased so that he may not allow snags to arise in his worldly life or to straighten out those that exist. This is asking the Lord of the universe to pay attention to the apparent difficulties of an insignificant individual. Isn't it as ridiculous as calling in a professional bricklayer to build a doll's house? In worldly life, it is our own duty to exercise proper care and caution. If we fail to do so and suffer as a consequence, how can we expect God to step in and set things right? We pray to God for trifling mundane favors. Even if he were to indulge us, we must be prepared to accept both sides of the coin, including the attendant ill effects or sorrow. Imagine that a pious thief regularly prays to God before embarking on his mission of thieving. He may occasionally succeed, but if he happens to be caught and convicted, shouldn't he accept the punishment too as his dispensation or pleasure? Unless and until we realize what we are in reality, we shall not get peace and contentment, not even if we are at the peak of success and prosperity. We should get to know our real self and the creator of this universe for true peace and contentment. Any conclusion based on an unsubstantial hypothesis, such as the permanence of the body, must also be unsubstantial. To look for happiness in this worldly life is as foolish as hoping to get white paste by rubbing and grinding coal. Our sense of pleasure and pain depends on our mental outlook. In worldly life, we get no more and no less than what we are destined to. Therefore, both pleasure and pain will vanish if we cease to desire anything different from what it is, that is, merge our desire with that of God. Personal reflection. The story of Adi Shankaracharya and the miser's illusion. Once, as Adi Shankaracharya and his disciples traveled across a village, they encountered a wealthy miser who was deeply attached to his possessions. He had built immense wealth, but lived in constant fear of losing it. Seeing the great saint, he mockingly asked, "O revered one, you teach that this world is an illusion. If that is true, why do you travel and preach? Why not simply stay still?" Adi Shankaracharya smiled and asked his disciples to fetch a large rock. He then turned to the miser and said, "If this world is real, why don't you place this rock on your head and carry it with you always?" The man was shocked. "Why would I do that? It would be painful and burdensome." Shankaracharya then replied, "Exactly. Just as carrying a heavy rock brings pain, so does your attachment to wealth and desires. You think they give you happiness, but in truth, they only weigh you down with fear, anxiety, and suffering." The miser was stunned. He realized that his endless desire for wealth was not bringing him joy, but rather enslaving him to fear and misery. Inspired by the wisdom of Adi Shankaracharya, he began to let go of his attachment and seek peace in devotion and selfless service. Shri Brahmachaitanya Maharaj's teaching resonates with this lesson. True contentment is achieved when we merge our will with God's and free ourselves from endless desires. Shri Brahmachaitanya Maharaj reminds us that both pleasure and pain stem from desire. We suffer because we constantly crave what we do not have and fear losing what we do. However, by surrendering to God's will, we can transcend both pleasure and pain and experience true inner peace. Let us reflect. Are we clinging to temporary joys, or are we seeking the eternal bliss of divine connection? By practicing self-inquiry, detachment and devotion, we can rise above desire and discover the true joy that resides within. May we all find the everlasting peace of surrender to God. Jai Shri Ram.